Hello there, welcome back to another video. So I have another set of Albeit Al Dimashqi fragrances today. This is set number 3 and I have a few summer fragrances on this particular video today. I thought let's talk about the fragrances that you can avoid and the ones that you can get for summer this year, and hopefully they will be good additions for your summer collections. So I have got these decants from Fragzone. So Fragzone, I get decants from him. You get good quality decants and good shipping and all of that. You can definitely get in touch with him for decants. And let's get started. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Right, so let's get started. So the first things to know is to avoid a couple of fragrances that we don't want for summer from the house of Albeit. Number one would be to get YSL Y EDP. You can definitely avoid this in case you've been wanting to get an alternate of this. We'll look at another fragrance house, probably maybe Al Dirga maybe has a good one, but Albeit's is not that great, so you can definitely avoid this. Second you can avoid is also Allure Home Sport. So this is also not that great. I didn't like it, so also I'll try and get another house to look at. So I've got about 4 fragrances and we'll talk about these 4 fragrances and if I why they are really good in terms of summer fragrances. So the first one, a big surprise, is Cartier Declaration. Okay, now this is a fragrance that you will absolutely enjoy if you like a very nice citrusy fragrance. Okay, now this particular fragrance has got a lot of notes going. It starts with bitter orange, it's got mandarin orange, it's got birch, it's got caraway seeds, it's got jasmine, it's got artemisia, it's got tea, it's got leather, it's got amber, it's got oak moss, it's got birch, something that I could remember off top of my head. So you can kind of imagine that this is a fragrance that's got a lot of aromatic, green, citrusy, and of course it's got another very important element which is iris and orris butter. So it's got orris, iris note and all of these, right? So primarily a fragrance that is very beautiful. Now the way this particular fragrance opens up, it opens up with a lot of nice citrusy elements, and the citrus here is not sweet. It's got a little bit of that animalic element to it because of leather, and also because of the lot of green herbaceous things which are there on this particular fragrance, like artemisia and all of that. But on the top you also have a lot of spice elements like caraway seeds, you have cardamom, you have cinnamon, and you also have a good element of that light talcum like elements like orris butter and iris as well. Now you also have tea on this particular fragrance, and because of that tea note and leather and amber, you get a very nice tartness to this particular fragrance that makes this fragrance very, very refreshingly good. Okay, so this is a beautiful refreshing citrus fragrance for summer, and when you put this on, you get easily 2 to 2.5 feet of projection, nice and pretty good projection, loud projection, very clean and neat fragrance. And this you can get a lasting of about 4.5 to 5 hours roughly, depending on the weather condition. But I would say inside office or indoors, if you're looking at, you can definitely get about 4.5 to 5 hours roughly. Okay, and it makes for a very refreshing fragrance because of the lovely combination of notes. You don't get that alcohol blast or anything as such, so you get a very beautiful aromatic, powdery, talcum, a little bit of white flower elements and a little bit of that iris element, and a nice ambery, leathery type of a fragrance. And it's not a sweet scent, like I said, it's very masculine, it's very beautiful, and one of the popular fragrances from a long time. So you can definitely consider getting for summers. You can get Cartier Declaration from the house of Albeit. Very nicely done fragrance. Okay, moving on to another fragrance which was a very big surprise for me was Scandal. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal, and let me do a quick spray of this particular fragrance. Alright, now this is a fragrance that opens with mandarin orange, it's got clair sage, it's got tonka beans, it's got caramel, it's got vanilla, and these are some things that are there on this particular fragrance, along with a nice element of vetiver. Now what you get right at the top is because of that caramel which is there on this particular fragrance. I've got a bit of cold, I guess. Right, you get a very nice blast of that citrusy element with that slight spicy element of that clair sage. Along with that, you get a nice caramel vibe which gives you a good powdery element. Okay, so right at top you get that, and that powdery element is very nice, a nice talcum, a good soothing kind of an effect that it has. And this particular fragrance will open up really well in summer as well, although there is vetiver on this and there is caramel and vanilla, though these are probably some commodities that you can think are more evening friendly. But I think the way this particular fragrance opened up in the daytime for me was really nicely done. You get a good 2.5 to 3 feet of projection, and you actually can enjoy this for about 5.5 hours time, because you get a very nice vibe of it. It starts as a very linear fragrance, so it opens up with that mandarin note, with that powdery element and that caramel playing right at the background all throughout, and then it starts to go down a little linear like this all throughout. For about 5 hours you will easily enjoy this particular fragrance. If you're specifically looking for office wear, you want a clean fragrance that can give you a nice scent profile along with a nice compliment or anything, you can definitely consider Scandal, because of that caramel that I said again, and that vetiver. The vetiver, though generally is a very earthy note, which is very rough and grassy at times, is not the case here. You get a very soft, smooth, beautifully done fragrance where the citrus element is right at the top, a very light element, but mostly the vanilla and caramel is the biggest embodiments of this particular fragrance, and it is really done well. So you can definitely consider getting Albeit Scandal as another very good option. Okay, a third option that I would like to talk to you about is Bleu de Chanel. Now Bleu de Chanel has got a lot of citrus elements, and then it's also got a little bit of incense, it's got amber, it's got sandalwood, and then it's also got a little bit of spice element. So this is also a very good addition to summer fragrances especially, and definitely works really well. And this is done pretty nicely, but I'm not too sure whether this is a EDT concentration or a EDP formulation or a clone of that. But on the whole, this is pretty nice. I will do a separate comparison between this and Maison Alhambra's Bleu de Chance in terms of you are interested in getting a Bleu de Chanel oil, because I'm also trying to see for other editions also. So I will come back to you with a detailed one. But on the whole, this is also a pretty nice scent. But I would say this is a lightly lighter than the the OG which is there. The OG is a lot more stronger, very intense as such. This I feel is a little lighter, but the citrus element and the incense note and the spice element is something that you get with a little bit of that sweetness of the sandalwood that is there. Again, a good element to consider for office wear, and for summers, this is a good choice to have. So this I would say also I would recommend you to try. This is Bleu de Chanel from the house of Albeit. Now coming to the most important fragrance, are probably the best fragrance of Albeit in terms of their launches are, or rather there's one Gentleman Givenchy which is also very good, but probably now that's been knocked off by Latafa. But I think they're one of the finest fragrances. It is definitely Hasiwat, okay, or Hashiwat as many people call it. This is from the house of Nishane. Now this is a fragrance that needs no introduction. This is a very lovely go-to fragrance for summer. This is a fragrance that opens with pineapple, then it's got bergamot, it's got I think a little bit of jasmine, patchouli, and then it's got oak moss, some woody notes and all of that. So it's a beautiful fragrance. So let me do a quick spray and I'll tell you why this is a very popular fragrance among a lot of people. And I was recommended by a lot to try this particular fragrance, so that's why I kind of got this. Right at the top, you get a nice element of that opening sweet pineapple vibe that you have, okay, and then you have that oak moss playing at the back. You also have a light element of that sandalwood note that you kind of get very nicely. A bit of that bergamot right at the top, very well blended with that pineapple note. And then the fragrance starts to open up, and when it does, you get a very good vibe from it. Beautiful energy, good lasting, good performance. You get a good 2.5 to 3 feet of projection easily on this if you do a full wearing of 10 to 12 sprays easily. So it does really, really well that way. Now, because of the cedar and oak, woody notes that is there on this particular fragrance, along with the jasmine, you get that little bit of that floral and woody vibe as well. On the whole, you get a good performance for about 5 hours or so roughly, where it's very nice. So if you're a fan of the Creed Aventus DNA, for example, you will absolutely enjoy this particular fragrance as well. But on the whole, if you want a very nice, refreshing, fruity fragrance with a little bit of a sweet element, with a little bit of a minty element, and a nice woody and oak moss feeling, though there is patchouli on this particular fragrance, you don't get that earthy vibe very much. You get a bit of it, but not a lot, but you have, when you sniff up close, you do get that earthy vibe. But on the whole, I think this pineapple and bergamot and of course the jasmine, all of that kind of take credit much in a much better way, and it's a very refreshing fragrance that you get good compliments. And of course it's very clean, so if you're wearing for office or outdoor as such, you can definitely wear this. This is a really nice fragrance as well. This is definitely one of the nicer Hasiwats that I've smelled from many alt houses. I've tried it from Ruhaniyat, I've tried it from Muzna fragrances, so this is definitely one of them when you consider Hasiwat as a whole fragrance. Okay, so in summary, there are 4 fragrances that I would highly recommend for you to try for summers from the house of Al Bayt. So definitely, if you're thinking about a nice citrusy, fresh, beautiful fragrance, aromatics, spicy, a little bit of iris note, then definitely get Cartier Declaration, where it's very nice. If you're looking for a fragrance which got a little bit of citrus element and a nice caramel touch to it, a good powdery vibe to it, then definitely get Scandal. Then if you want a fragrance which has got a lot of grapefruit, it's got some warm spices, a little bit of woody notes, a little bit of incense and amber, then definitely Bleu de Chanel is also a good option. But the best option, hands down, a nice fruity pineapple, oak moss, citrusy, fragrance with a little bit of woody element is definitely Hasiwat, right? So you can get all of these from the house of Al Bayt. If you are interested in decants, like I said, you can definitely contact Fragzone, so you can get it from them as well. But I hope you kind of get these fragrances and definitely try them. If you like Al Bayt, Al Dimashqi as a house, these are definitely some fragrances that you can definitely go for, right? So I hope you like the video that I create and the content that I bring. Almost every day I bring one video for you so that you can enjoy this and make right decisions. So if you like the video, give me a like, give me a comment, and you're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Until another time, take care. Bye now.